We got a bidet! Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are talking a bit more about the Diamond Dynasty mode in MLB The Show 23. I've already uploaded the video where it's kind of like walking you through the tutorial part of this. So if you're having any trouble with the tutorial for Diamond Dynasty, go ahead and check that out. But I'm going to give you a little bit more of a deeper dive and tell you some of my tips along the way. So when you open Diamond Dynasty, you will have this main screen. It's the home screen. So you got manage squad, customize, standings, stats, and history, and player updates. So player updates will tell you how the cards have changed when they do different updates. Standings, stats, and history. This is where you'll see, like if you play a game online or if you play a game against a computer. It'll tell you, all the different games that you've played in the past and basically give you a box score reminder of the things that happened. Customize, this is where you get to customize your team, so your jersey, the colors, your gear, all that good stuff. Manage squad, so this is where you actually get to go ahead and swap your players from your the different cards that you have. Right now, this is the first set that I have not modified it outside of the tutorial, so you can kind of see the different players that I was given right away. It is a little bit different than last year as far as the layout. So from what I've gathered is if you go left, then that's where you get to determine who is the captain of your team, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. So there's different captain cards where they enhance your players. When we actually look at a captain card, well, that's when we'll talk a bit more about them. But you do get, if you look up in the top of the screen, you do get one hitting captain and one pitching captain, so that's important. So for your lineup, this is your main screen. It looks like a depth chart. If you click on the position, that's where you get to pick from the cards that you have to swap out. It does tell you a side-by-side based on, like, if I want to replace Ortiz here with Lee, it would say, this is Ortiz's stats, this is Lee's stats, this is where each of them are better than the other in certain categories, and then you just make the decision on who you want to be playing in your everyday lineup. One of the really cool things that they updated with this game this year is in the past, you had to have your pitcher hit. This year, they are starting with having the DH. So you get to add that dynamic to your lineup this year instead of just having a pitcher at the end of your lineup. Ohtani was probably the popular pick when you're playing online because he's a really good hitter, and then everybody else was, middle of the road to not so middle of the road. So it's really cool to have this extra, quote-unquote, really good hitter to have in your lineup and expand your lineup a bit. Down below here we have your bench, so that'll be the bench that you have ready to go when you're playing. So if you want to swap out a player or pinch hit, pinch run, this is where you're going to find those players to swap out for. Starting pitchers, so this is where you get to pick who your starting pitchers are. Again, same thing as the depth chart with the hitters. If you click on it, then you will be able to go ahead and replace them with different cards that you have. I can actually show you that. I'll click on this guy, and I'll say I want to replace him with Glass now. There you go. Swapped right out. Ooh, didn't mean to go back that far. Alright, bullpen. So, again, you get to pick who you want to be in your bullpen when you're playing games. And the swapping works the exact same way. If you click on them, then you can go through all your other players you have in your bullpen and pick the one that you want to replace them with. One of the things that's really important about Diamond Dynasty this year is that there's different sets of players that you'll be able to use at different times and also with different modes, and you have to pay attention to that. So right now we have the Season 1 stuff. You can see in the upper right hand corner that the requirements for the eligibility is you can use core set players and you can use set 1 players. You can see that in the upper left hand corner of all your cards. Core set players you can use all year long no matter what. Set 1 cards are the ones that will be going in and out of your lineups as you go throughout the different seasons. So currently we're in season 1, and what's eligible for that is core and set 1. So when season 2 comes around, I believe it'll be core, set 1, and set 2. And then when season 3 comes out, they've said that that will be core, set 2, and set 3. So that's when your set 1 players will go away. Where do you get to have a little bit of leniency with that? The wild. So I believe you get 1 wild, meaning you can have that 1 player from across whatever to be in your lineup. So we've gone through the depth chart of being able to show you, how to swap out your players. If you go over to lineup, that's where you get to set your lineup. So you can pick, who goes first, second, third, all the way up to ninth, and then you also have your bench down here below. Honestly, I think that this interface is a very, very big improvement because things were always so small on the screen. Like if you're trying to look at your lineup, because they had the lineup and the depth chart all on one screen before. And by doing it this way, it's bigger, it's more clear. You should be able to go through these a lot easier. Let's see. If you want to just move players on your depth chart, you can use the square button for PlayStation to swap your players. If you use X or cross, that's how you swap your players with ones that you don't have currently in your depth chart. Let's see. We go up to the top and we click, we can have 4 separate teams. You get to name them. The one you default to is main. Let's see what settings does. Oh, so you can generate your best season 1 squad. So why is that important? Because again, seasons will be changing who you can use in your lineup. So you have the option to generate the best possible lineup based on the requirements of the season, or you can just do generate best squad in general, which will play all your cards together. You can duplicate your squad in case you want to basically take this squad and build off of it, or if you want to rename it, you can, or you can delete your squad if you just don't want to use it anymore. So you have those options. So that covers your managing of your squad. Let's get into the good stuff. Okay, what do we get to actually play? So there's programs, single player modes, and online modes. Online modes, again, these are going to require the PlayStation Plus. If you play a Nintendo Switch, you will be required to have an online subscription for Nintendo Switch for this stuff, for the online modes. This is where you play against other people or with people. So if you go to ranked, you can do solo 1 versus 1, you can do co-op 2 versus 2, or co-op 3 versus 3. Let's see, if we just click on solo here for a second, you can see there's a whole bunch of rewards based on how well you do. If you win games, then you add to your current rating. If you lose games beyond, I believe it's All-Star, like if you're over 400, that's when you can lose points. In the past, if you were at All-Star, then you didn't lose points. So let's say you had 300 points and then you lost a game, you wouldn't lose points in the past. It would just kind of just give the other players some points, you would stay put, and then you could try another game. Some of the really cool things that I learned from last year is that in games before last year, really you only got like rewards if you were successful with moving up and down the rating system. They implemented a program with ranked. So if you go in here, there's tons of rewards that you can get. And if you notice, if I go back to this part, one of the top rewards is a World Series pack. And if you know from previous years, cards in these packs can be expensive on the marketplace. So, if you weren't able to get up to this 900 score, you'd have to shell out a ton of stubs to be able to get those players that come from the World Series packs. Well, what they did to try to help us out a little bit is if we have the ranked program, you can do different missions. So, play 9 solo ranked innings. So essentially, play a full game, and you get 1 point towards your progress up here on the bar, like on the reward path. Let's see some other missions. Play 25 solo ranked innings, and you get 5 points. 50 innings, another 5 points. And these do build up. So like when you do the play 9 innings, that counts towards the 25 as well, so on and so forth. So when you're doing going for 250 solo ranked innings, all the ones before that will stack into this. So it's kind of a nice way to be able to build it up. You can also do solo stats missions. So, get a save, strikeouts, hits, runs, again, accumulating while playing ranked. Solo XP missions, if you notice the one at the top, it says repeatable. So if you get 10,000 XP in solo ranked games, like once you hit 10,000, it will restart back to 0, but then you can work towards getting another 10 rewards points, which is really nice. So you can do all these different XPs. They are based on the players that are rewarded throughout this ranked program. So if you go ahead and you're playing along with this program, and you get pennant race pack, or wild card pack, so on and so forth, the players that are coming out of those, you'll be able to go back in and get XP for just using them in ranked matches. You can also get the points towards the reward path using the co-op mission or co-op interface when you're playing with friends. Again, it is simply just playing the game. These are all innings based, so just by playing it, you can earn the different parts of the reward path up top. Very, very good rewards. So even if you just get up to the 100 mark, you get the World Series pack, which is the best one here. And if you take a look, there's some good cards in here. 99 diamonds. And again, these will be expensive in the marketplace once they start hitting them. So go in here, play some ranked matches. Even if you feel like you're not doing so well, just by playing innings, you are getting closer and closer to getting some of these cool rewards. Also, these players that I've noticed that are in the ranked packs, they tend to get expensive on the market as well. So come in here, play a little bit, earn XP, not only in your ranked program, but when you earn XP here, it also goes to the rewards path, like the main rewards path. So you can get a lot of good stuff out of this. Again, that's something that I learned last year, and thank goodness I did, because it's going to save me a lot of time. I used to just grind by playing against the CPU on 9-inning games, and that took forever. You can come here and earn a ton of stuff. Battle Royale, I don't really play this, but you can draft a 26-man team from a balanced pool of cards, rank up wins against online opponents to earn rewards, avoid elimination. So it's basically play as much as you can, but once you lose twice, you have to start over. That's about it. That's all I got for you. Events. So there'll be different events throughout the season, like the MLB season. And they'll basically change the requirements of what is allowed to be used during these events. So what's allowed today may be totally different in like 2 months from now. Or as they change seasons, these will change over time. And there'll be cards to unlock here as well. Play versus friends, so you can challenge your friends. Unranked, so like it won't count towards the ranked numbers that we were earning with the ranked program, so to speak. So you'll basically just be able to take your squad and play against your friends. Casual, just playing a casual unranked game. So you can play against other people, but it won't affect your ranking in the ranked online mode. So those are your online modes. Single player modes. You got mini seasons, which that has changed this year a little bit. I already know all this information, and I'm going to tell you the information so you don't have to read all that stuff. The classic mode is right here. Funny they named it. I didn't say that because that's what it was named, but this is what it was the very first time. This is what it was last year when they brought this into the game. Basically, you play 28 games that are 3-inning games. There's different goals that you can try to meet when you're doing this and unlock more rewards. And they tend to have some really good rewards if you complete this and win the little postseason thing at the end of the mode. So check that out, especially if you want to earn XP, packs, stubs, all that good stuff. Team Affinity season. So this is gonna, well, both the Team Affinity and the Lefty Lucy. This is some of the newer stuff. So Team Affinity, you're gonna again just have some goals you can complete. But the thing is that there's some restrictions in play, so to speak. So I haven't played it yet, but my guess is that you have to use Team Affinity players in this mode from Season 1. And we will get to that very shortly of how you get those players. But yeah, so that's the Team Affinity. And the other one, Lefty Lucy. So Lefty Lucy means you can use only left-handed pitchers and only left-handed hitters in your lineup. So probably not one you'll be able to play right away. Like me right now, I probably couldn't play this just because my basic squad doesn't have enough players to fulfill all lefties in pitching and all lefties in hitting. So build up your team a little bit and then come back to this one. If you complete it, you can earn the Prime Mark Mulder card there you see on the main page. And as you can also see, this one will expire. It says challenge expires 7/7/23 at 12 o'clock Pacific time. So I would probably work on this one as soon as you can. That way you don't miss out on those rewards. You can see on the Team Affinity it says Season 1 never expires. And you can see on Mini Seasons Classic never expires. Those will not go away. Conquest, another one of my favorites. Oh, we do not want that explanation because I'm going to give it to you. Conquest, if you've ever played the game called Risk, it's essentially MLB's version of Risk. So you want to conquer the map, you want to take out enemy strongholds, and the way that you take out the strongholds is that you play a game of baseball, 3 innings. Depending on how many fans you have as opposed to troops in Risk, the amount of fans that you have compared to the ones that you are attacking will dictate whether you can play on rookie all the way up to the hardest difficulty. You can steal fans, so you can try to steal fans from the different teams that are on the board. Again, based on the difficulty you pick will be how many fans you will steal if you are successful in beating the other team. You can also move your fans from one spot to another once per round. But ultimately, your goal is to take out or take over the entire map. There's also some side goals to take into account as well. So sometimes they might say steal 5 fans throughout the entire conquest mode. So you want to pay attention to those if you're trying to get as much of the rewards as possible. There are packs hidden on the map, which is really cool. So sometimes when you take over certain spots on the map, you'll just see, oh, you uncovered a pack, this pack. And then you can go to your inventory and open up that pack. So this is a great way not only to get packs and currency, but it's also a great way to get XP. There tends to be, like years past, where if you go to the rewards program, just by beating these different maps, you can get bonus XP for completing the map. So great way to not only, like I said, get cards and stubs, but also XP towards the overall path. You can see that there's some like starters up top here, these first 3, but then you also have Team Affinity ones. So if you complete, let's say, because I'm a Detroit Tigers fan, if I go to Team Affinity Season 1 Central, that's where teams from Central Divisions, both American League and National League, will be. But if you complete this, well, then you'll get points towards the Team Affinity Season 1 mode as well. And we're getting there, so stay tuned. So you got these 3. They have their own requirements, so you can see it says Season 1 squad required for each of these. We also have a World Baseball Classic map, which this one will expire. It says expires January 1st. So it'll be here for quite a while, but again, you want to get in there, you want to get your rewards. That way, when it does go away, you're not missing out. Nation of Baseball. This is the one I think that's been a part of MLB The Show since the very beginning of bringing in Conquest Mode. I think it was the original map. But you go through and you have to defeat every single team and take over the entire United States. It takes a while, but the rewards are well worth it. Let's see an example of some reward stuff.
Attack.
So if we go into the this one here, the United States map, and we view goals, so we can see acquire 50 million fans is the first one. So that's your quote-unquote troops. So if you get 50 of them, well then you'll get the show pack, 100 stubs, and 100 XP towards the reward path, the overall one. There's a whole bunch of different ways to earn stuff. So like here, conquer 100 territories, which are the different spots on the map. And if you do that, you'll get a 79 Adam Dunn, 400 stubs, and 400 XP. Awesome stuff. If we go all the way to the bottom, which tends to have some of the best ones, you can see there's a repeatable one. So if you complete this map and you come back and you want to keep playing it over and over again to try to get more XP and rewards, the repeatable goals are the only ones that you can get again. So for instance, goal 17 right here does not say repeatable, so you can only complete this one time and get Roberto Clemente 92 Diamond one time, 4,000 stubs, 3,500 XP one time. The repeatable one, if you conquer all territories on the map multiple times, then you can get the 3,000 stubs and the 20 the show packs multiple times. So tons of stuff to look at there. You just want to make sure to double check all your goals as you go. If you're wondering about what the card looks like, you can hit triangle and it will actually show you what the card is. So I looked at Al Kaline, again, Tigers fan. But if you want to look at Greg Maddux, there you go. You can take a look at the stats so you can know kind of what you're trying to work towards before you even do it. So highly recommend doing this stuff. It's one of my favorites just because you can get a lot of good packs, stubs, and XP towards the reward path. Showdown. So Showdown is essentially you draft a team and then there's a bunch of different things that you can, like scenarios or moments, so to speak, where if you're successful, then you earn rewards. Not rewards that you get to keep outside of this mode, but rewards that you get to add to your lineup. So the lineup you start out with isn't like a God mode type team. It is, as you complete these different tasks, then you can add better players to that team. You can get different rewards for it. So like Team Affinity, again, if you complete the Team Affinity for Season 1, well then you'll get points towards the Affinity section. Again, we're getting there. There's also a World Baseball Classic one, so there's a program that talks about World Baseball Classic where you can get rewards, and if you complete this, then you will be able to get points towards it. Play versus CPU is just playing against a computer. Let's see, programs. So Season 1 reward path. A reward path, this is the main reward path. So like if you are gaining your XP, this is where it's all funneling into. We can see that there's tons and tons of stuff that you can unlock. But once you get to the very end here, you can see that there's a loop. So in years past, when you play Diamond Dynasty, basically once you got to the end, you didn't unlock anything else. Whereas this year, they made it so if you get to the end, you can keep doing this loop where you'll be able to get rewards over and over and over again. And there are some really good packs in there. Let's take a look at some of the key players that you can get from this reward path. So Season 1, some of the bosses you can get right here. Some good stuff. I already know who I'm going to go for. In years past, Francisco Lindor has been a very, very key player for me. I don't know what it is. just plays very, very well when I'm playing the game. So I'm going to be going for Francisco Lindor right away for that boss pack. But we have all of these players in the boss pack. Let's see, we can look at the World Baseball Classic pack. Lots of good players. And there are tons of World Baseball Classic players in the game. When I watched the presentation about Diamond Dynasty recently, so many, so many. Charisma. This is a new type of pack introduced this year. So we can see who's in the Charisma pack for the Season 1. Again, Detroit Tigers fan, I'm going for the Grandy Man right away. I cannot wait to get Curtis Granderson on my team. Oh, and you may also be recognizing they all say set ones. So these are players where you're not going to be able to use them necessarily all year round all the time. If something says it requires something besides set 1 and set 1 is not included, you will not be able to use these cards for those different modes. Multiple boss packs. Let's see, we saw those already. Boss charisma. So you may notice you can get multiple charisma packs, multiple boss packs. Now we got the captain packs. So let's take a look at captains. We can talk about this now because we kind of referenced it earlier, but we can take a deeper look. So captain pack or captain cards. This is new for this year. And what they do is, if you have a captain on your team, they can boost other players' stats. So, for instance, if we look at Bryce Harper here, and then we go all the way over to the captain tab. So this tells you what special captain enhancements you can get from the player. So tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, they all have different requirements. And they say it at the bottom what is required to have it active. So for tier 1, you have to have 5 hitters from the All-Star Series on your squad. Notice it says All-Star Series captain Bryce Harper on the card. So if you have 5 hitters on your team that are from the All-Star Series, then you will get +5 contact versus right-handed hitters for your team, +5 power versus right-handed hitters, but you will be losing 5 fielding ability for your team. As you go along, you may notice that the requirements are enhanced a bit. So for tier 1, you only needed 5 hitters from All-Star Series, whereas tier 3, you need 9 hitters. So you need a lot more people from the All-Star Series on your team to get that boost. But that boost is legit. You get +15 contact versus righties, +20 power versus righties, and then +10 batting clutch. There are no negative effects in that tier 3, so you might want to, get a bunch of players on there if you want to be able to use that ability. Some other players, when I was watching the presentation yesterday, that we want to be noting here, some of these can get really interesting. Some of them were like people that are over the age of like 30 or 35 or something. You have to have that many players on your team to activate their boosts. Some of them had parallel level requirements. So as you use your players, you will gain XP and then they will increase their stats along the way. So if it says for your captain thing required parallel level 2, well then you have to use your player enough to gain XP to be level 2 for your parallel level. So again, wrapping up what's going on with these captains, you have 3 different tiers and it says at the bottom of each of them what is required. Like I said, they can kind of go all over the place, so you have to pay attention to what cards you are using. That way you can make sure your boosts are being reflected. And when you have your depth chart up and you have your captain ability activated, if you highlight your players on your depth chart, it shows in the middle what their stats are. That's where you'll be able to see the tier boosts enhancements in the little circle with the different stats. So let's just see a quick example of somebody different. So if you have Garrett Cole and you go over to captain, you can see it says 2 pitchers from All-Star Series because he's an All-Star Series captain. So that was very similar to Bryce Harper. Let's look at somebody else. Elvis Andrus. You go over to the captain. 4 hitters from Veteran Series. Why? He's a Veteran Series card. So He would require Veteran Series players to be on your team. Total of 8 for the Tier 3 boost, because I think Bryce Harper said 9? Yeah, so even the amount of hitters can be different. So check all that stuff out. Pay attention to what is required for your boosts. Some other cool cards you can get in the rewards. Here, I am going for Pudge Rodriguez, because he was a former Tiger. He's not a Tiger on the card, but I want him. You may notice with these cards it says core in the upper left hand corner. Why? Because that means you can use these cards all year long. So you won't have to worry about, like, when I want to pick Pudge Rodriguez, I can use that card whenever I want all year. Core cards, use them all year. It's probably the same. So I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4 captain packs. So if you do this XP stuff, you'll be able to get all the captains from this set. So make sure to fill out the XP and get all those captains. Gameplay XP. So right now, because we're in early access, there's not a bunch of stuff right here. But usually there's like moments, missions, getting points for doing the different conquest maps. Sometimes collections. So like if you have certain players, you can get bonus XP for the reward path for having certain players. But again, right now it's early access, so they don't have this stuff out yet. So right now you can only get XP for just getting XP throughout the game modes. So yeah, check out that. It does change every season. So this is season 1. So when season 2 comes out, there'll be a ton of other new things to unlock. Team Affinity. So this was brought back, and basically you can do different challenges and stuff for each of the different divisions. Let's take a look at the Central, because I'm looking forward to seeing the different Tigers. So here we can see that there's moments, missions, captain stat missions. So you can get captains here. Let's see. This is where we get the Miguel Cabrera. I was waiting to see where we could get him, simply because when they were doing the presentation, they didn't show him, but in a previous presentation, besides yesterday, they showed this card, so I was wondering where he was. So, Miguel Cabrera, I'll be going for that one for sure. But looks like you can unlock multiple ones. Ooh, what is this? Oh, the Charisma cards. Going for Javi Baez. Yeah, so you can unlock all these different types of cards through the Team Affinity. So you may be seeing, henchmen. So breakout Scherzer. Ooh, interesting. So might be able to be getting a Detroit Tigers Scherzer at some point. Mini seasons. Redeem your mini seasons voucher for Team Affinity in AL Central Season 1. So remember, there was the Team Affinity for, or the mini seasons Team Affinity. So if you complete that, you'll be able to come back here and say, well, I want to use it towards American League Central. So then it'll give you points for this one. You can do exchanges where you basically sell your cards for points. Showdown gets you points here, 15,000 Team Affinity. There's also the Conquest map, which I'll be doing very, very soon. And that would get me 25,000 points for doing that. And also, if you complete March to October, based on the difficulty that you pick, you can get Team Affinity stuff here as well. Pretty crazy. That'll be the same for all the different Team Affinities as far as like the type of content that's in them. So just, work on those and earn all those players. Other programs. So these are kind of like the extras that you'll be able to work towards. So there's a World Baseball Classic one where you can earn a whole bunch of World Baseball Classic players. Very similar stuff as the other programs. There will be missions. There will be moments. There's also the Showdown. If you do the Showdown for World Baseball Classic, you can get points here. Also, if you complete the World Baseball Classic Conquest map, you'll get points towards here. There's a starter one, which I'm looking forward to completing. Not only because we're going to get a Sammy Sosa, But we're also going to get a Justin Verlander at the very end. So, there's also missions, moments, collections. This is what I was mentioning about where you can sometimes get XP in the XP path by having certain players. Here, if you collect equipment, unlockables, or bat skins, you can get bonus rewards during this path. Alright. So last couple things here to wrap up. Inventory. You can see all your different stuff that you've unlocked. We're going to save my packs for the very end so we get some excitement. Collections. This is a great place to get some cool stuff. So as you're collecting cards, you can go ahead and do these different collections. So starter collections, this is going to get you going right away. So collect common players. So once you have 5 common players, you can come back to here and earn the rewards. Collect infielders. If you collect 10 infielders, come back here, earn the rewards. Those are the basic ones. If you get live series players, this is where you want to come back and redeem your live series players. So there's ones for all the different teams. So as you're unlocking, for instance, the Detroit Tigers, you go through here and you will redeem your Tigers players. Once you collect all the team, you will get the top player here for the set. Notice they are captains, so when you collect all the players for a team, you will get a captain card. Alright, so that's the Detroit Tigers. So you'll be completing these for all the different teams. The player you unlock isn't always just going to be just a player currently. You may see we got Hal Newhouser, so it'll be also players from the past. The really cool thing is if you collect all the American League players, you will get Mark McGwire, very exciting. If you can collect all of the National League players, you'll get Sammy Sosa. And if you collect all the players across all the leagues, Axel is very excited, you will get Derek Jeter, 99 Signature Series. Very cool. It's even holographic this year. Look at that animation. Yeah, one of the things I really want you guys to be aware of with this stuff is that when they do roster updates, they do shift around the players for these collections. So what that means, if you complete it, you will not have to recomplete it. However, if you're trying to work on one and then let's say someone gets traded or called up, called down, whatever, you will have to backtrack your progress on that. So let's say you have 35 of the players and then something happens to the roster and now there's, 8 cards you don't have in the list. It will go back down to like having to get 8 players instead of 5 players to complete it. So just be mindful of that. But the big key thing is once you complete it, you will not have to go back and redo it. GOAT. So those tend to be some really good rewards. So if you unlock that Derek Jeter card, you will be able to apply it here. Handful of good cards. Set collections. So set 1, if you collect a whole bunch of set 1 cards, over here it tells you all the different things that you can unlock as you do that. The biggest one is a set 1 collection choice pack, which is really cool. But some players, Trey Turner from the USA team, really good card. Also our cover guy, Jazz, you can get his card, a 99 set 1. And also XP and whatnot along the way. You can collect uniforms and get rewards for it. You can collect unlockables and get rewards for it. You can also get the different perks for like Road to the Show and whatnot and get points for it. So lots of ways to earn not only more packs but also XP and more stubs. Exchanges, you can exchange players to try to upgrade. So like if you have a ton of silvers, you can exchange silvers for a gold pack, stuff like that. There's the shop, so the marketplace, that's where you can try to buy and sell your different cards. Some people do very well with buying cards for low and selling them for higher later on when the demand fluctuates. I don't really do that just because I don't want to take that risk. But some people have fun with it. One thing that I really want you all to pay attention to, and if you pay attention to anything, you're going to do it right now. And that is when you sell a card to somebody, 10% of the amount that you sold it for goes to MLB The Show. Like it's a tax. Okay, so the reason why I'm pointing this out is if you sell it, you lose 10%. If you quick sell a card, so let's talk about bronze cards, for example. If you quick sell a bronze card, you can get 25 stubs. At least that's what it was in years past. On the marketplace, you can sell cards as low as the quick sell value. So that means you could put a bronze on the marketplace for 25 stubs. However, if you quick sell it, you will get the 25. If you sell it for 25 on the marketplace, you will be paying a tax. So you will get like 22-ish for your card. So what I'm saying here is, do not put a card on the marketplace for a quick sell value. Instead, quick sell it and get your money instead of selling it to somebody and then having to pay a tax for the marketplace. You'll have to figure out the numbers of, a gold minimum a gold minimum price is this based off of what it would sell for compared to quick sell. They do tell you, like, if you're saying I'm going to sell it for 5,000, it'll say after you sell it, this is how much you will get in pocket from after tax. So you'll be able to take that amount and compare it to what you would be getting with the quick sell. So please, that is my number one tip to anybody, is watch how much you are selling your cards for, because it adds up, and it adds up fast. Packs. So you can buy packs. If you got the game early enough, you can get this Derek Jeter card for free right away. Otherwise, there's a whole bunch of other packs that you can purchase with your stubs. If you want to purchase more stubs with actual currency, like spending $100 or whatever to get more stubs, that's where you will get it. But really, that's about it. I want to look really quick to see what Tigers we got in our flashbacks. Looks like we are actually getting a Prince Fielder Detroit card, which is really cool. Earlier we mentioned that there was a Max Scherzer somewhere along the lines. There he is, and it says right up there, you can earn this player in the Team Affinity. So I'll definitely have to go through the Team Affinity for AL Central and get that Max Scherzer card for sure. Michael Fulmer, and then Hal Newhouser. Again, if you collect all the live series Tigers cards, that's how you get him. So it's really cool how they tell you how to earn these players up in the upper right hand corner. So like Al Kaline, Conquest. Prince Fielder, it says Community Market right now. So it looks like you can purchase him. He must be kind of random in the packs, so to speak. So the last thing to do here, open up some packs. So let's see what we got. I'll try to do the ones, in my opinion, that are a little less exciting. So Bat Skin and Banner. So I got MLB The Show 23 Bat Skin and the Banner, which is reflective of the Steelbook. Got the Derek Jeter card that was free. Here's our new animation for Diamonds. No surprise here who it was. Oh, we don't want that music. Alright, ball player. It is a choice pack. What is that, soccer balls? This is baseball. Alright. I can hardly tell what any of these things are. Oh, we have to pick one of these. I don't really know what a lot of these things are because I don't really use them. But if you collect them, then you can use or get collection rewards out of them. World Baseball Classic uniforms. So I'm definitely going to get Team USA. Is there only one or is there two of each? Okay, there's two of each. So I'm going to make sure I get both USAs. And let's see. I'll get Venezuela for Miggy and the other team I was watching. I didn't see it. Puerto Rico for Javi Baez. So I got these 4 jerseys. And those are jerseys you can use on your team. So like, I can actually make my Diamond Dynasty team have that jersey. Oh, we get to pick a player in this one. Wondering what the values are going to end up being. But maybe I'll pick this guy. Currently his value is the highest, so that's why I picked him. Another gold choice pack. Get a nice relief pitcher. Get that bullpen going. Well, let's open up some of these randoms. Nothing too crazy there in the first one. Nothing too crazy on the second one. Alright, we didn't get any diamonds from the random packs. That's a little unfortunate, but whatever. Little Baseball Classic choice pack. So, looking at all the different players, there's a lot of good choices. But again, I'm a home brewer, so Cespedes was once a Tiger, so I'm going to go with Cespedes. And then the captain pack. So you get 1 choice pack for the captains. I think I'm going to take Big Papi, David Ortiz. So those are all the packs that I got from the pre-order with the Captain Edition, and maybe there was a pack thrown in there from the tutorial. I don't remember. But yeah, those are our packs. So that is my rundown of Diamond Dynasty. If you have any questions about Diamond Dynasty, please feel free to put them in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of video, please subscribe to the channel. I'm hoping to have more The Show content this year than years past, just because you guys seem to like it quite a bit. Turn on notifications, that way you are notified when more of the videos drop. Drops a like if you like the video, and drops a comment letting us know what you are most excited for with MLB The Show and Diamond Dynasty. And then, as always, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.